Thanks for joining us on ntTV News at Noon. I'm Sebastian Nava.
And I'm Avery Callens. UK Prime Minister Liz Truss had set the record for the shortest serving member resigning after 45 days in office. Truss said she came into office last month at a time of increasing economic instability and could not deliver the mandate to change this, even though she was elected to do so by the Conservative Party. She mentioned her resignation to King Charles III, which makes her the first prime minister to resign in 75 years to a king. Liz Truss will remain a prime minister until a successor is chosen.
Over 2 months have passed since the FBI executed a search warrant at former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. Now reports are saying his attorneys could invite the FBI to search the estate again. CNN's Amy Kiley has more.
I really do have a big question why the Justice Department would even be interested in this offer.
Former President Donald Trump might give investigators permission to search his Mar-a-Lago home again, sources tell CNN. The Justice Department has said in court filings it thinks Trump might be holding on to even more classified documents. But one political expert says that doesn't mean it'll send the FBI to Mar-a-Lago again.
So much time has passed that whatever was there or whatever they suspect is missing could have been moved to one of his other venues.
So why even make the offer?
It kind of reeks of desperation. I think that he's in a place where he feels cornered in various different investigations.
In fact, Trump faces a list of legal woes. A California judge ordered the release of 2020 emails he says prove Trump knew his voter fraud claims made in court filings were false.
That's perjury, and that's certainly evidence of federal crimes.
And it could affect a Georgia case. After the 2020 election, Trump asked Georgia's Secretary of State to, quote, find him votes. The emails could prove he wasn't talking about identifying fraud.
This is a smoking gun for the prosecutor in Georgia.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Superintendent of the Uvalde School District, Hal Harshel, announced his retirement plan last night. Harshel has been receiving continual backlash after the shooting at Robb Elementary School that killed 19 students and 2 teachers. The Uvalde School Board met on Wednesday to discuss this decision, which gave the floor to many distressed members who had been impacted by this tragedy. Jesse Rizzo, uncle of victim shooting Jackie Carrazatez, expressed his opinion on this decision.
And finally, J.G. Swaders, we've been waiting for you to resign. You've lied to us, you lied to the board.
Remain superintendent throughout the year until a new one is named. You know, I really do feel for the Uvalde community as they continue to work through this horrible tragedy.
Yeah, well, hopefully the new superintendent can, rally the community together and put them on the path to healing. But for right now, let's take a look at what's happening closer to home here in Denton with our weather anchor, Alec Rapp. Alec?
Thanks, guys. Let's go ahead and take a look at the current conditions here in Denton. It's 74 degrees, feels just like 74. Winds at 9 miles an hour, so if you had a light jacket out yesterday, you might want to keep it today. And then let's go ahead and take a look at tonight. It's going to be very similar temperatures this evening, 73 degrees, 5 mile an hour winds, so it's going to be a little bit lighter on the wind side. And then looking at tomorrow, if you were hoping the fall weather was going to stay here, you're not going to get it. It's going to be 90 degrees tomorrow, so it jumps way back up there, 15 mile an hour wind speeds. So it's going to be very windy, but also very warm tomorrow. That's all for now. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Alec. Coming up, information about housing for upperclassmen that you need to know.
And cooler temperatures are rolling in, but they aren't staying for long. We'll be right back.
Somos papi chulo, recuerden, don't mess with Texas, y'all. to my flow to save some H2O. This my water rhyme, and this is how it goes. First, turn off the sink and take some time to think. When you waste water, our supply shrinks. When you take a shower, not more than an hour. Shoot for 10 minutes and save water power. Use a reusable bottle, smart like Aristotle. Ditch all the plastic and be a role model. And that was my H2O flow. Please remember how it goes, because if you don't, Earth will go, oh no!
UNT announced yesterday that they are adding 3 new programs to its catalog. The G. Brent Ryan College of Business will add 2 new programs, one being a doctorate in business administration, which will focus on business leadership and practices. Through its collaboration with the Dallas Cowboys, UNT will introduce a bachelor's in sports entertainment management. The program will focus on building brands, strengthening media relations, sales, and marketing. The College of Music is also adding a bachelor's in critical studies in music and society. The program is for students who lack formal training in music but are still interested in communicating about music to diverse audiences.
UNT's audiology faculty member Sharon Miller helped take part in work that expanded Medicare coverage for cochlear implants. This means research team's work led to Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services updating cochlear implant candidacy criteria. As of September 26, older individuals who receive Medicare benefits with speech test scores greater than 40% and less than or equal to 60% qualify for cochlear implantation. Prior to this decision, cochlear implantation was only covered by Medicare for patients who did not meet candidacy criteria when they were enrolled in either a specific type of FDA-appointed clinical trial or a prospective controlled comparative trial approved by the CMS.
Major change is on the way for the nearly 45,000 students here at UNT, and it may not be in a good way.
ntTV's Isabella Quintanilla explains that this life-altering announcement, what could mean for you. Isabella?
Well, guys, returning students need to start looking for off-campus housing right now, because come next fall, it's likely that the only people in the dorms will be the freshmen. Despite the 20% spike in new freshmen this year, UNT says it will still require first-year students to live on campus, and that means leaving everyone else with nowhere to go. For the 4th year in a row, UNT saw its enrollment increase this fall, adding strain to the already short supply of on-campus housing. The UNT Housing Office says that they don't yet have designated halls for the upperclassmen, but that there may be limited space available for the 2023 semester. UNT Housing recommends that students attend the housing fair to look into off-campus housing options. However, this announcement did not address the potential negative impacts this could have on returning upperclassmen and graduate students. As one of the fastest growing colleges in the nation, student housing conflicts are unavoidable. The question now is how to handle it. We will be sure to keep you updated on this developing story in the coming weeks, and in the meantime, concerned students can visit the UNT Housing website to find help and more information on local off-campus housing. That's all I have for today. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you. Health experts are warning of new COVID-19 strains and a new surge of the virus over the upcoming winter. The new strains are already on the rise in Europe and Singapore. The co-director of the Center for Vaccine Development at Texas Children's Hospital has named these variants the Scrabble variants due to the fact that these names include letters Q and X that earn the most points in the popular board game Scrabble. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention report that these so-called Scrabble variants account for nearly a third of new COVID cases reported across the country this week. You know, on my way in this morning, I noticed it was actually a little bit chilly outside.
I felt it too. Let's turn to Alec Rapp for our full weather report to see what's in our weather forecast. Alec?
Guys, let's go ahead and take a look across North Texas. So as you can see, it's pretty much all in the 70s. We have some nice weather up north in Gainesville and Sherman. The high in the area is going to be 77 down in Stephenville, but pretty much everywhere down in Dallas and Fort Worth, 74, 76, so kind of around the mid-70s. And then if we take a look across the region, we're going to see some similar numbers hovering around in the 70s. Very nice weather out in El Paso. Up north, it's a little bit cooler. Oklahoma City, 63, and Amarillo, 67. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the 7-day forecast. And one thing you guys want to keep in mind as we start to go towards the fall weather, we're getting a little warmer this week, but over the next month we're going to cool down. And one thing to keep an eye on is your tire pressure, because as it starts to get colder, your tires are going to shrink. So you want to make sure you keep an eye on that pressure so you don't have a flat on the way to work or on the way to school. Now, let's go ahead and look at the 7-day forecast. Tomorrow, it's going to be a high of 90 degrees. Then it's going to drop into the high 80s. You have 88 on Saturday, 87 on Sunday. Then Monday, we're going to drop down a little bit, 77 degrees. Tuesday is going to be 66, the coolest temperature over the next week. And then 71 on Wednesday and Thursday. So we're going to start to move a little bit towards that fall weather. That's all from me. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Alec. After the break, ntTV's Taylor Davis shares a sweet story about an even sweeter treat.
And we'll take a look at Hollywood's headlines. Stay with us.
It's that time of year where everyone plays a dangerous game with the flu. Going in uneducated, you run the risk of symptoms like cough, migraine, and fatigue. Don't be like this guy. Combat the flu with cough drops, ibuprofen, and a good night's sleep. Be smart, don't catch the flu.
Sorry. Oh, sorry, man. Oh, sorry.
The State Fair of Texas is soon coming to an end, but if you happen to go early, Chevrolet has a free all-day event that gives drivers a chance to test out some of their newest models.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Kyle Orr at the Chevy Ride and Drive. I'm in front of this beautiful yellow Corvette that I'll never be able to afford. And we're going to test drive some cars. Let's check it out. As the earliest open event at the State Fair of Texas, the Chevy Ride and Drive is the perfect opportunity to get behind the wheel of vehicles that many of us can only dream to own. Unfortunately, a pink 2023 Camaro doesn't have 3 seats, so I had to settle for the 2022 Silverado HD, and I had no reason to complain. Reliable handling and a reliable guide help me get a taste of what the future has in store for crew cab trucks. After a successful journey and polite refusal of the $56,000 price tag, it's easy to say that this is the most unique test drive I've ever experienced. And it seems that all other participants agree that this is the event to remember at the 2023 State Fair of Texas.
The Chevy Ride and Drive event is available at the fair from open to close, so make sure you get down there and quick test drive your dream car.
Speaking of the State Fair, ntTV will be live at the fair later on tonight to talk about fair safety in the last few days of Texas's biggest event. Earlier in the week, one of our reporters spoke to the Piñata Man, which you could check out on our Tuesday nightly show. The State Fair ends this weekend, and we will have our final live report from the fair tonight at 6 p.m. So be sure to tune in and stop by the fair before it's too late.
Well, I don't know about you, but fair food is definitely my guilty pleasure.
You know, I feel the same way. I always go and I just grab myself a big old turkey leg. So it makes everyone's day better. But ntTV's Taylor Davis has a new treat to add to your must-try list. Taylor?
Thanks, guys. The State Fair of Texas is known for many things, but the food is the real showstopper. The annual Big Tex Choice Awards highlights the best food creations, and this year's sweet winner will take you to paradise. Southside Steaks and Cakes is a newer stand, and they've already made a name for themselves by winning this year's contest. The Peanut Butter Paradise by Chris Easter and Nicole Stearns won the Best Sweet category for their deep-fried honey bun infused with caramel, topped with a layer of peanut butter, Reese's Pieces, and powdered sugar. The inspiration came from a falsely incarcerated customer who told Easter how he would layer his honey buns with peanut butter in paradise. Easter and Stearns are more and plan on entering again. If you'd like to get a taste of the Peanut Butter Paradise, their stand is located at the Cotton Bowl Plaza. And tune in tonight as we report live from the fair on our 6 o'clock newscast. That's all I have. Back to you at the desk.
Classic 80s rock music has been making a noticeable comeback. CNN's David Daniel explains the rise of an 80s jam we all know and love in this week's Hollywood Minute.
A milestone for every breath you take. The Police music video has surpassed 1 billion views on YouTube, just the 7th video of a song from the 1980s to hit that mark. The song was Billboard's top single of 1983. The video hit YouTube in 2010.
Hey! Did you make a pact to not murder each other until you murder me first?
We are here for you, my love.
Yes, we're in lockstep.
Yes.
Caitlin Dever says she couldn't believe she'd get to play Julia Roberts and George Clooney's daughter in the romantic comedy Ticket to Paradise.
It's just kind of overwhelming, especially because I haven't ever done a rom-com before. Or I guess I've done comedy with like sprinkle romance in them, but never like a full classic rom-com type of feel movies.
What is stirring in your hearts? In the middle of such division and unrest, is Father God being revealed to you?
The Chosen is going big screen. Season 3 of the crowd-funded series about the life of Jesus will open November 18th with the first 2 episodes playing in theaters across the U.S. before the entire season is offered via streaming. Ticket information at thechosen.tv/3. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Hey Sebastian, did you catch the Mavericks game last night?
Unfortunately, I couldn't. I had to go to sleep early so I can get ready for today's show. But I bet our sports anchor, Gabby Pippins, can catch us up on all the action. Gabby?
That's right, everyone. We'll be discussing current controversies in Iran, the start of the Mavericks season, and the Cowboys' NFC East showdown against the Eagles when we come back.
At a time when misinformation is all too common on social media, we take great pride in bringing you the news that matters, that impacts your family, news you can trust. Local broadcast journalists bring you the facts, covering the stories breaking in our community and across the globe. Text TV to 52886 and let Congress know you depend on local journalism. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Imagine it's ice cream day at the office. And everyone from the day before voted for their favorite flavor. Everyone but you. You decided not to vote. The flavor they picked isn't the one that you wanted. But can you really complain? Shh! Now imagine that with an elected official.
Choose not to vote, choose not to be heard. Get registered today.
Hey, listen to my flow to save some H2O. This my water rhyme, and this is how it goes. First, turn off the sink and take some time to think. When you waste water, our supply shrinks. When you take a shower, not more than an hour. Shoot for 10 minutes and save water power. Use a reusable bottle, smart like Aristotle. Ditch all the plastic and be a role model. And that was my H2O flow. Please remember how it goes, because if you don't, Earth will go. Oh no!
No, I've been feeling gross all week.
Maybe we should go get a COVID test.
But I already have all 3 of my shots.
Yeah, but you can still get it. I mean, maybe we should go get one just in case.
Yeah, you're right. We have that party and all that.
Yeah.
Where do we even get tested here?
Let me check.
You can find free COVID testing sites at the University Union, room 381 on weekdays, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., and on weekends, 1 p.m. to 7 p.m., and at Chestnut Hall, room 120, from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. You have to show the QR code given to you when you arrive for an appointment. Tests take no longer than 10 minutes to complete. Results will be sent through text or email within the next 48 hours.
I got a negative COVID test. Me too! Oh my god, let's go to the party! Yes! Let's go.
There are several Iranian sports figures asking FIFA to ban the Iranian Football Federation from competing in this year's World Cup in Qatar. A letter was sent to FIFA asking for the ban, claiming that Iran violated FIFA rules and regulations with extreme violence throughout the country. This reaction stems from the recent death of 22-year-old Mahsa Amini, who allegedly did not wear her hijab correctly. She was taken by the Iranian morality police and died shortly after. Since this incident, protests for her and the banning of Iran from participating have begun in the streets of Iran. The letter is signed by 8 current and former Iranian athletes, and the Qatar FIFA Cup is still set to begin November 20th. In other news, the Dallas Mavericks faced off against the Phoenix Suns for their season opener last night in what many fans consider to be a Western Conference semifinals rematch. The Mavericks kept the lead at the end of each quarter, but the Suns weren't far behind as Devin Booker and new addition Damian Lee were right on their heels. The fourth quarter was in fact the determining factor in the fate of this game. The score is tied at 105, and Damian Lee was able to hit a jump shot, taking a 2-point lead. Now, Luka Doncic tried to answer with a 3, but unfortunately he fell short, with the game ending 107-105. However, Luka still had an amazing performance with 35 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists. And Christian Wood ended with an astonishing 25 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists. Now, let's just hope that things go differently this Saturday when they take on the Memphis Grizzlies here at the American Airlines Center. And finally, the Dallas Cowboys had a huge game this past weekend against the 5-0 Philadelphia Eagles, and fans believe that this was the ultimate test for Cooper Rush's perfect record. The Eagles were able to take an early lead with a touchdown, but upon repossession, Rush ended up throwing one of 3 interceptions, which gave the Eagles another touchdown. And each team was able to score a field goal, ending the first half 3-20. Now, the second half looked way more promising for Dallas, as Cooper Rush was able to get the Cowboys 2 more touchdowns. But the Eagles answered back, and the game unfortunately ended 26-17, which also ended Cooper Rush's perfect record. Now, don't worry, Cowboys fans, Dak Prescott has been officially cleared to play next week against the Lions, and rush hour in Dallas has come to a close. Now, that's all I've got for sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Gabby. Inca, Zach, and Crispin. These are the names of the cutest tiger triplets you'll ever see.
These critically endangered Sumatrinian tiger cubs were born in June. The newly announced names have been finally chosen by the Zoological Society of London supporters, who won the chance to name them at a charity auction last month. One of the tiger keepers looking after the trio says the names are great for the feisty cubs, not only 4 months old.
Looking at those tigers, I just like how cute they are. I just want to play with them right here and just hope they forget they're tigers for a second and let me play with them.
Yes, that would be amazing.
Thanks for watching ntTV News at noon.
Join us again tonight at 6 here on North Texas Television.